Capitol Hill now. The House has been without a speaker for 15 days now, and opposition is growing to Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan's bid for the gavel. Our political reporter Greg Lee joining us now live. And Greg, it does not look good for Jordan at this point.
Yeah, Claudine, it certainly does not. Congressman Jordan not only fell short on the second ballot, two more members of his party voted against him than yesterday. Republicans delayed a third vote until tomorrow morning as they try to find a path forward. Day two and ballot two in Congressman Jim Jordan's quest to become House Speaker. The hardline Republican and his supporters spent Tuesday trying to win over the 20 members of their caucus who voted against him the first time around.
If you're a Republican, it ought to be a pretty easy decision, my friends. You know, this is somebody who believes what we believe and has fought for and shown that over and over again.
Jordan's opposition remained concerned about his ties to former President Trump and his approach to governance.
The Speaker of the House must be a legislator, and the gentleman from Ohio falls short in that regard. He supports an extreme agenda.
A speaker has not been elected.
22 Republicans opposed him on the second ballot, two more than Tuesday. Jordan's path to the gavel becoming even murkier.
I think it's going to end with hopefully a Republican speaker.
It doesn't look good for him. I think we need to move on.
The House remains paralyzed, a major point of frustration for both parties as wars rage in Israel and Ukraine.
There are a lot of things we disagree on, legitimately so. Most of us do not disagree about the security of the state of Israel.
The country can't afford more delays and more chaos. 15 days should be enough.
Momentum is now growing for a plan to give temporary Speaker Patrick McHenry more power to break the deadlock.
I think it's the most likely path. I think it's also fraught because it'll require Democratic votes. And so it's certainly not a long-term one. It may buy time in terms of the continuing resolution, in terms of aid to Israel, in terms of aid to Ukraine, maybe some other legislation that could be unblocked.
Now, Congressman Jordan vowed to keep fighting today. A reminder, it took Kevin McCarthy 15 rounds before he was elected Speaker. In studio, Greg Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News. Claudine.
Well, Greg, you talk about those 15 rounds for McCarthy. He had like 19 votes, and then it went up to 20 and it kind of stayed steady, which I think is why before it dropped and he ended up getting the gavel, they kind of stuck with it. At what point are you watching Jim Jordan and saying that there would be a move there to say there's no reason to keep voting?
Well, I think that's the concern now is that if the longer this goes, McCarthy was making a lot of deals behind closed doors and during these caucus meetings, which ultimately led to his ouster because he changed the rules for some of the right wing of his party. It's not clear that Jordan can move any of these people that have been determined not to vote for him, and that creates this logjam that we're continuing to see. So that could be the challenge moving forward. But again, Jordan said he wants to keep doing this and perhaps believes the pressure will break down some of those folks that are against him.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on it. Thanks so much, Greg.